Kim Jong Un has ordered nuclear strikes against South Korea. And the reason why he's doing this is because the leader of the free world, Joe Biden, well, the illusion of the free world, Joe Biden, is one of the weakest presidents that's ever lived. This guy is 2 months away from being in diapers. This guy should be in a home. This guy shouldn't be running anything. He couldn't run a birthday party, never mind the USA. And a lot of people, said to me in the past, why do you even talk about American politics? American politics are the most important politics on earth because they dictate what happens. Without the Americans, the rest of the world is just anarchy because they police basically everywhere. So whenever you have a weak president in Joe Biden, you have people like Kim Jong Un, Vladimir Putin, you have Hamas going crazy, you have all, even the Israelis, Netanyahu, he's able to do whatever he wants because they feel they've got free reign. Because what's really going to happen by a guy that's 2 months away from going to being in diapers? This guy's probably shitting himself, literally shitting himself in the middle of the night. And I feel bad about saying that. If anybody's going through that type of stuff, with family members, it is a thing, but it's clear to see that Joe Biden is rapidly deteriorating in front of our eyes. And this guy should be, in my opinion, removed from the presidency, from the White House ASAP. Even if I think Kamala Harris would do a better job, but a lot of people say Kamala Harris is probably running the show anyway. It's probably Barack Obama in the background, controlling things, just like he likes to make doomsday Netflix movies. So when it comes to Kim Jong Un, you have to think to yourself, right, this little geezer who hasn't seen his pee in about 10 years, who literally eats everybody else's food because the whole country is starving under a communist dictator, and they have to give away their own shit once every 3 months. They have to provide enough feces to the government to fertilize the land for food. His own people are eating rats. They're dying. If you look at, North Korea from a satellite during night, it's completely pitch black dark because he can't afford lights and all his money goes on to the military. This guy is the definition of a narcissistic sociopathic freak. But for me personally, the fact that we're going to get into just a little article here now. We're going to read about this. But the fact that he is here right now saying he's going to nuke South Korea is a complete indication that the world is fucked. And we need somebody to come in here like Donald Trump. I'm not the biggest fan of Donald Trump, by the way. I think the guy likes to hear himself speak. But at the same time, if you look at the interaction he had with Kim Jong Un, whenever Donald Trump, the first president to walk into North Korea, take Kim Jong Un's hand, pull him in as a power move to basically say, don't fuck with me. And Kim Jong Un didn't. So what you're seeing now, you're seeing a spoiled child in Kim Jong Un, afraid of the presidential elections. He's afraid of Donald Trump getting back in because he understands if Donald Trump comes back in, daddy's back, I can't do what I want, and I'm probably going to be scolded like a child. Because in North Korea, everybody's given a picture of Kim Jong Un. They come into your house, if it's dusty, they basically put a bullet into the back of your head. This guy is a proper narcissistic freak dictator, communist dictator. So this is what he is, and he's like a child. Most of these communists are like children. They need to be seen as good people. They want to control what you think. They want to control what you do. They don't want you to have money. They want to have full power at all times. Hence why there's people out here that don't want this to happen to the West. And trust me, if you think this type of thing can't happen to you, you're greatly mistaken. So the reason why Kim Jong Un is doing this is because, one, he's scrambling because Donald Trump could become the president, and two, he feels like he can because the current president of the United States, the places of the world, is shitting himself at 2 o'clock in the morning, and he can't string a sentence together. So if you think about it that way, China, North Korea, Russia, Israel, Palestine, Africa, anybody can do what they want because Joe Biden will probably just give you $5 billion in funds. That's the reason. There's no other reason for it. So everybody's laughing at America. Well, not at the American people because they're beautiful people, but everybody's laughing at the White House. Everybody's laughing at the Democrats, and everybody's laughing at the Republicans because let's face facts too. The Republicans are fucking dinosaurs. So America needs to get its act together and put somebody. If it's Donald Trump, it's Donald Trump. If it's somebody else, it's somebody else. But never, ever, ever elect anybody like Joe Biden ever again. And if you do, then you deserve to be took over. So let's get into this article now and let's read about what Kim Jong Un is up to. But first off, guys, remember, smash the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. That's the only toll you have to pay for this channel. I don't want your money. The only thing you have to do to watch all my videos for free, hit the likes and subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you want, you can share to somebody, share a copy, link the clipboard, send to your friend on Facebook or WhatsApp Messenger, make a little social media post. If you want to follow me on social media, all the relevant handles are in the description of this video and the links. YouTube have took my ability away to post links apart from YouTube links in the description because they've demonetized me, they've shadow banned me, they've done everything to me. But I can post handles in the description. So if you want to follow me on TikTok, if you're watching this on TikTok, head over to my YouTube and watch the full video. Watch this in Rumble, head over to my Rumble, my Instagram, all the handles are in the description. And yes, guys, let's get into the article now. Kim Jong Un says North Korea should thoroughly annihilate US and South Korea if provoked. I thought he just said the South Korea, but he said the US, so he's directed a threat at the US, knowing that Joe Biden will not do a thing. In a meeting with commanding army officers on Sunday, he said the country needed to sharpen the treasured sword to safeguard national security, an apparent reference to his country's nuclear weapons program. This guy spends all his money on nuclear weapons, but has no money to turn on lights because he is a baby. This guy is a full-grown baby with nuclear weapons. And there's the handsome chap there. He hasn't seen his pee-pee in 10 years. North Korea leader Kim Jong Un said his military should thoroughly annihilate the US and South Korea if provoked, according to state media. Mr. Kim's comments on Sunday came after he said moves by the US and its allies against, I don't know, I forget how you say that word, Pyongyang, whatever, had been unprecedented in 2023, pushing the Korean peninsula to the brink of nuclear war. In a meeting with commanding army officers on Sunday, he said the country needed to sharpen the treasured sword to safeguard national security, an apparent reference to his country's nuclear weapons program. And what Kim Jong-un is really afraid of is the cat getting out of the bag in his own country, because you have to understand there is no internet there. Those people think that they're living in heaven, even though they're living in hell. They're told that the rest of the world is a shithole, and he's giving them paradise. And they're so indoctrinated, they don't know what's going on in the rest of the world. They're basically living in the 1700s. That's why places like the dark web are actually necessary, even though they generate a lot of evil with evil people. Because if you have the dark web, you can access these people. These people can access the dark web, and you can get messages across. But he's really afraid of his country falling. And remember, guys, anybody that defects away from North Korea and is caught is shot accordingly. You can't even leave his country. That's why when a visitor goes there, the very few that go there, everything is set up as propaganda for them to go back to the West and say North Korea is beautiful and a brilliant place and everybody should go. He cited the US and other hostile forces military confrontation moves, according to the Korean Central News Agency KCNI. Mr. Kim said that our army should deal a deadly blow to thoroughly annihilate them by mobilizing all the toughest means and potentialities without a moment's hesitation. I mean, the fact that he said that, he would never say that under Donald Trump. He would never do that. If they opt for military confrontation and provocations against North Korea, KCNI added, North Korea's leader is expected to ramp up weapons tests in 2024 ahead of the US presidential election in November, with many experts believing that Mr. Kim thinks an expanded nuclear arsenal will allow him to gain US concessions if former President Donald Trump is re-elected. Once again, ego. He wants to show, look, he's puffing out his chest. He's saying, look, Donald, you were away for a couple of years. I'm the boss kid and I can do what I want. So if you think you're going to come back in here and dictate to me after you embarrassed me by pulling me in with that handshake and embarrassing me in front of all my people that actually didn't get to see that because none of his people have TVs, they're too busy scourging for rats to eat. You know, this is who I am. So if you're going to come back in the office, then this is, he knows that the gig's up and he's fucked. The fact that he can do whatever he wants when Joe Biden's in office is a testament to what the world is like if we have a weak president and a president that is disgusting in the White House. In a 5-day meeting of the ruling party last week, Mr. Kim pledged to launch 3 new spy satellites, build military drones, and increase his country's stock of nuclear weapons in 2024. This guy needs, if there's a country that needs liberated, it's North Korea. Except the reason why the Americans don't go near it because it doesn't have any oil. At the meeting, Mr. Kim told South Korea a hemiplegic misinformation and colonial subordinate state whose society is tainted by Yankee culture. So he basically says, look, yous are basically low-ranked versions of Yankees. You want to be them and yous are disgusting people, while at the same time starving his own people and killing his own people. And his own people have to eat rats and he collects their shit. And if you don't dust his picture down inside your house, he comes in and he throws you into a gulag. Great, Mr. Kim. He said his military must use all available means, including nuclear weapons, to suppress the whole territory of North Korea in the event of a conflict. In response, South Korea's defense ministry warned that if North Korea attempts to use nuclear weapons, South Korea and the US forces will punish it overwhelmingly. And you have to look at media language here. They called it, which is a good phrase to use because North Korea is an it, resulting in the end of the Kim government. Yeah, and do you know what? I don't want to see Kim Jong. I don't want to see North Korea nuked, but he needs to be removed ASAP. That place needs to be liberated. Those poor people are under torture at the minute with him. A 5-year-old kid could run the country better than him. Experts say small-scale military clashes between North and South Korea could happen this year along their heavily armored border. They say North Korea is also expected to test launch intercontinental ballistic missiles capable of reaching the mainland US and other major new weapons. So think about this, right? That's the biggest load of balls, right? He doesn't have any of those weapons. This guy's a bullshitter. He's the definition of a bullshitter. And it's like a narcissist starting to believe his own lies. Do you know what I mean? This guy is the definition of a narcissist. He's looking for attention that he doesn't deserve. That is the definition of a narcissist, of somebody who comes into your room and wants attention that they don't deserve. This is a classic case of narcissism here. In his New Year's Day, in his New Year's Day address on Monday, South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol said he will strengthen his military preemptive strike, missile defense, and retaliatory capabilities in response to the North Korean nuclear threat. Look, South Korea, what can they do? Either they need America to back them, basically. He said South Korea was building genuine, lasting peace through strength, not a submissive peace, but that is dependent on the goodwill of the adversary. Basically, look, we're going to stay out of your business, you stay out of mine, but Kim Jong Un can't have that. He needs to be seen. When there's something happening in North Korea at the minute, that he needs to be seen as a strong guy. Do you know what I mean? Mr. Kim has focused on modernizing his nuclear and missile arsenals since talks with US President Trump broke down in 2019 over disagreements about international sanctions on Pyongyang. I can't say that word. I don't know what it is, and I don't care. North Korea has carried out more than 100 missile tests since 2022, prompting the US and South Korea to expand their joint military drills. Now, I have to just highlight something here, right? Because I don't know, this is Sky News. I'm reading this off. Mr. Kim has focused on modernizing his nuclear and missile arsenals since talks with then US President Trump broke down in 2019. Hold on here. Are you is Sky News that stupid? Or are they just trying to pump out propaganda that this is Donald Trump's fault? The reason why Kim Jong Un is doing this is because of Joe Biden. This has got nothing to do with Donald Trump. When Donald Trump was in office, Kim Jong Un was afraid to do anything. And that's what you want when you're dealing with an overgrown baby dictator, communist. You need to put the fear of God into them, because he can't be thinking to himself, well, if I do this, America's going to come in and just, stop this. That's going to make me look weak. This is because of Joe Biden. There's no two ways about that. So there you have it, guys. You have Kim Jong Un ready for nuclear war. You've got Israel, Palestine. You have Russia, Ukraine. You have people coming over here in dinghy boats taking over countries. And this is all, in my opinion, due to weak leadership and who we actually elect to run us. America is a very important place, and you should always be worried about what America is doing, because they are the police of the world. They determine people like what Kim Jong Un does. The fact that Joe Biden is in office is why Kim Jong Un is doing what he's doing. He's doing these things because there is weak leadership in America right now. And regardless if you love Donald Trump or you hate him, he will bring the fear of God into these people. Iran didn't know what to do whenever he was in office. Kim Jong Un, he done a pure power move in Kim Jong Un where he pulled him in for that handshake. Kim Jong Un was rattled after that. I don't think Russia Ukraine would have happened if Donald Trump was in office, and I don't think Israel Palestine would have happened with Donald Trump in office. Actually, when Donald Trump was in the White House, there was no wars, and he stopped that really fast. I remember Iran tried to start something, and then he took out a general, and then they just quit. They went, fuck that, we don't want to get involved here. We need to stop what we're doing. So testing times, guys. If another Democrat gets elected into the White House, if Joe Biden gets elected, in which I don't think he will, or if the FBI or one of these secret societies or whatever, eradicate Donald Trump from the race, this is going to be really, really testing times for the world. I think Donald Trump needs to come back in. And whenever Donald Trump leaves again, we need to bring somebody in with the same mindset that's going to lay down the law for the world to say, look, don't start this shit, or we're going to do this. That's it, guys. Thank you very much for tuning. Remember, smash the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Go follow me on social media. Links are in the description. Peace out.